Peace. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy September. First, make sure that you do all of your first of the month rituals, whatever they are. Um, Cleaning, like I'm distracted because I see it looks like a little cobweb or something behind me and it's driving me nuts. Anyway, do your cleaning that you do at the beginning of the month. Do your whatever rituals you do, depending on whatever spiritual practice you have, if any. There are lots of things that you can do at the very least, setting your intentions for the upcoming calendar month to be well, and um, you like to create the certain ambiance in your space to represent whatever energy you are setting your intentions to have. So, whether that's smudging or if you do any candle magic, if you do any sort of smoke bowls or lighting incense, any chants or prayers that you do, whatever you do, if you do all the things, then happy September. It's time to get started with that. So, definitely the first few days of the month, if you can, but preferably the first of the month. And to be honest, I mean, we're all human. I don't always get around to doing those things. I always set my intentions though and will journal about what I want to accomplish in the next month, what I my plans are, but life, you know, is lifing and we don't always get around to doing the things. So anyway, just wanting to put that little reminder out there, the little buzz in your ear, if you will. So um do the things if you feel led to do them. But for now, I have I have my planner. This is actually my homeschool planner because I homeschool my boys. But um, this is the time to discuss the upcoming month's transits. So let's dive in. Now, it's a lot. I'm not even gonna front, I'm not gonna hold you. For the month of September, there are of um a lot of the more recognizable planetary aspects taking place in September. There are dozens of different aspects because just like there are squares, that's one of the common ones, there are semi square aspects, which represent a 45-degree angle versus the 90-degree that a square represents. So there's like many ones of all of them. And most of the many ones, which are called minor planetary aspects, are not typically followed or even mentioned by most astrologers. But of the main ones, the squares, oppositions, trines, conjunctions, the sextiles, which are lighter positive aspects, I only tend to focus on those if it further enhances another aspect that's also taking place at the same time. So that's usually the only time you'll hear me mention those. But also the quincunx energy, which is not always recognized, but in my opinion, a quincunx, aka in conjunct, is more noteworthy than an opposition, because an opposition, that's a 180-degree difference, and that represents the need to face the energy that those entities represent, where a quincunx essentially is a blockage. If a conjunction represents the true enhancement of the energies that are represented between the conjunction, the inconjunct is the opposite of that. It's a true blockage, and it's where you will feel angst between those entities that are in conjunct each other. It represents a 150-degree difference between them, and yeah, that one is, I would definitely say, is the most negative aspect. All of them are workable, and some of them are just more challenging than others, and I identify them and recognize them as just a needs improvement area, if you will. So without further ado, let's dive in. So with that being said, that is why I month of September into 2 monthly videos. I'm still going to post the weekly videos. I know I fell off in August, but August didn't really have that much going on, thankfully. But in September, there's so much going on. I will definitely post weekly September videos, but yeah, it's a lot going on, like almost on a daily basis, at least in the first couple of weeks of September. So as I was making my notes and everything, I kind of stopped once I hit September 16th because I realized there was so much going on that I'd just be talking and talking and talking and talking. So yeah, so you will see 2 monthly videos, a part 1 and a part 2, with the month broken in half. And then I will still do the weekly videos where I can dive in a little bit more. Okay? So let's get started. Okay, so first, this first week of September, we start off with Mercury going direct. So we know that we've been in Mercury retrograde, and Mercury going direct now in the sign of Leo. It's a great thing. I will say that Leo, being a fixed fire sign, brings to Mercury that stubborn quality, that it's that I said what I said energy, but try not to be so inflexible as far as not seeing things from the other person's perspective. So always, be mindful of that. And also note that even though Mercury is direct now, that we are in the post shadow period for Mercury retrograde. So that will take place for a couple of weeks. So over the first couple of weeks of September, you may still feel some Mercury retrograde energy in your life, because there's still some of that energy to be felt. So be mindful of that. On September 2nd, we have Mercury in Leo trine Chiron in Aries. Now, the good thing about that is a trine, there is this synergy between the entities. Chiron is our wounded healer, and Chiron has been in retrograde. Chiron in retrograde represents like healer, heal thyself energy, and the exuberance that comes from both of these fire signs. The tricky thing is that Mercury trine Chiron will enhance your desire to really speak on the things that anything that's bothering you. It will enhance the need or desire to express how you're feeling about things, to talk about it with others. This is a great time for therapy sessions. It's a great time to collaborate with others. But just note with the collaboration, especially if it's starting a new venture or any sort of business opportunity, that we are still in the post shadow period for Mercury retrograde. So it's not necessarily the best timing to start anything new. But for any, and pardon any outside noise that you hear, it's the weekend. But anyway, people are so extra sometimes. But anyway, just note that you still have to go over everything with a fine-tooth comb because of the Mercury retrograde post-shadow period. Now we have an interesting transit for September 3rd. We have Mars in Gemini in the critical 29th degree square Neptune, which is also in the critical 29th degree in Pisces. Now Neptune has been in retrograde in Pisces for a while now, months. And it's been at this in this critical degree as well, which enhances our dreams. It enhances our imagination. It can enhance delusion because Neptune represents delusional energy in excess as well. But this Mars square Neptune aspect, it while squares bring a conflict and resolution of sorts, Mars square Neptune, it is a call to action for you to really check in with self to make sure that you are acting on your dreams, that you are bringing your dreams to fruition, that you are actually realizing your dreams, that you're not just sitting on them. Because at the same time, we have Mars quincunx Pluto, which is now in Capricorn. So, Pluto is in Capricorn. If you haven't seen my post that I did earlier in the week with regard to Pluto's final run in Capricorn, check it out. It's a post on the main page. But with Mars being quincunx, aka in conjunct Pluto, that means that there's a blockage between your actions and the change that's taking place around us and within us. You cannot fight the change. And if you do resist or fight the change that's taking place, the transformation, the evolution that's taking place within you, it's just going to make for a hard transition because the change is happening. But it's like you could either go with the change, you could either be at one with the change, be open to the change, or you can resist it and just watch the change taking place and you feel like you're like having to play catch up or, rushing, like chasing after your dreams. That is a old saying, to chase your dreams. I don't even like the term follow your dreams. I believe that you need to be your dreams. You need to realize your dreams. I always like to bring up my favorite quote from Edgar Allan Poe. Those who dream by day are cognizant of many things which escape those who only dream by night. And it's really important, it's imperative that the dreams that you have, that you don't just sit on them, that you don't think, oh, this is frivolous, or this is just some fleeting thought, or, I can't do this, or don't lean into that imposter syndrome of, why me, or, I can't do whatever that thing is that you think of. You can do it, but you've got to do it. Think about that. Let that sit with you. You can do it, but you've got to actually do it. It's not enough to just say you can. It actually has to, and it requires action on your part. Okay? So with this energy, it's some fighting, especially with Mars and Gemini, that duality. It's like you're either going to do it or you're going to keep talking about it. What are you going to do? So then we also have Venus in Libra, which is where Venus loves to be as the planetary ruler of Libra, opposing True Node in Aries. And True Node represents the qualities that we should embody in order to be our optimal selves, in order to be that version of ourselves that we are meant to be. So with Venus and Libra opposing that energy, and Venus represents our aesthetic, it doesn't just represent what we love, it represents our perspective. It represents where we find the beauty in life, what we believe is beautiful in life. And with the energy being opposing True Node energy, we almost want those to be at one with each other. So when they're opposing each other, it's another call to action. September, I can tell you, for at least the first half of September, I haven't even gone past the first half because, like I said, there's so much to cover. There's a lot of calls to action. Okay, so rather than them being in alignment with each other, this is a challenge to you to look at it, to face it, and to decide whether what you desire for yourself, the things that you enjoy, whether they actually are in alignment with where you're supposed to be in life, what you're supposed to be doing. And only you can tap into your intuition, tap into your higher self, tap into whatever spiritual being that you tap into to determine what is right for you, what is in alignment with you. And some people will raise the question, well, how do I know if something's in alignment with me? I tell you what, you'll know if something's not in alignment with you, right? And it's not just about what feels good, what doesn't feel good, what feels right, what doesn't feel right, because that's all relative, and you might lean into and be drawn to the things that are not right. Okay, so can I get an amen? I can think of plenty of instances where what I wanted to do, um, where I saw myself, what I wanted to get caught up in was 1,000,000% wrong for me. Okay. So it's not even about a feeling, it's really tapping into your inner self, your true intuition, because we can do things for ourselves all day, every day, and it not be in alignment with what we're actually supposed to be doing. That's what I love about astrology, but it also requires us to be self aware and to have true knowledge of self. And that's something that is a personal thing for everyone, you know. So definitely tap into that, do mindfulness practices, do shadow work, lots of shadow work to recognize and to truly look at yourself. Definitely acknowledge where you have been, what you have done thus far, and where you would like to be. You know, that's what this journey is all about. So, finally, we don't really have much else happening between the 3rd and the 7th. So, we're at the end of the first week of September. September 7th, I mean, not like a lot hasn't already happened, you know, in the first few days. But September 7th, we have Mercury in Leo square Uranus in Taurus. So Uranus represents what makes us unique, what makes us stand out from the crowd, what sets us apart from other people. And it really represents collectively spontaneity. So when we have Uranus in Taurus, for instance, that brings a collective grounding energy and really getting back to our roots. Uranus also represents global technology. So um, we're finding a lot of streamlining processes, a lot of finding ways to add certain efficiencies into the work that we do. So we're seeing that globally, but on a personal note, you want to, one, to tap into the Uranus and Taurus energy, look at your chart, see where you have Taurus, and then that is where you will see some potentially spontaneous events pop up in your life in that area where you have Taurus. But with this square that we have going on between Uranus and Taurus and Mercury and Leo, that's a conflict and resolution. Remember, that's what squares represent. So your communication level as we're in this post shadow period of Mercury retrograde, um, really focus on the areas that you have Leo and Taurus, because those are areas where you may have potential conflict between um, being true to yourself and really propelling yourself forward. So you want to tap into efficiencies. You want to tap into your unique gifts with this aspect, but you also want to make sure that you are staying true to yourself and are not kind of, you know, just getting with the next program. It's like we're coming out of an era, like I said, with the Pluto and Capricorn energy of following along with the status quo, like people who will give advice on tried and true ways to get ahead. And so everybody's like clamoring to follow the next trend, you know, the money trend. This is what we need to do. Where now we're breaking free of that. And the real innovators, the real trailblazers are stepping out. Those are the people who we're seeing get ahead now. So it's really about tapping into your own unique gifts and traits so that you can find ways to still along your path, still evolving and elevating your own, you know, nature, your own aura, your own essence, but still tapping into those efficiencies along the way. You can implement certain things, but not conforming to what everyone else is doing. I hope that makes sense. So that is the first week of September. Like I said, it's a lot going on. So I will be in touch next weekend for the second week of September, but that's the first week. So let me know if in the comments if anything resonates with you, if you have any questions, if you know those placements so that you can let me know. If you have anything in the fire sign, so Aries and Leo, especially for this first part of September, and then that Taurus energy, also again that Leo energy for Mercury. Just let me know what you're finding in your own charts, and we can talk about it. Peace.